yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm, yeah. Born and dead, saved by love. Count my blessings from above. Though in darkness, have no fear. Light will shine on those old and near. They know that sorrow they will pass. For I know in this life there will be something. But remember that love, yes it will. Love will reign. Yeah. Love will reign. Yeah. In my heart, I believe it. Love will reign. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Have a vision. It's clear and plain. People
Love will reign. I'm excited that you're here with me this Tuesday evening as we go live. Hey, Sheila Pennington. Hey, Anto. Sheila Pennington on Facebook. Anto on uh, TikTok, and all of you, whether you're watching us live from the Love and Stuff community page or any of the love groups we're connected to, the Marcus Our Homes page on Facebook, whether you're on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube events, on Twitch TV, we're grateful that you're here. And we're hoping that you will tune in and click share and tag 5 of your closest friends, connections, followers, subscribers, 5 of the more popular ones to join us in tonight's discussion. Hello, Beatrice. Be amazing. You got to follow her. She has amazing things to say, and she's been engaging in our Love and Stuff daily post. Hey, if you want to jump into our daily conversations, go to the Love and Stuff page and click notifications. And each morning, we're posting a different thought and asking you to chime in. So I'm grateful for all of you to be here this Tuesday evening. And I just want a moment. If you haven't already, click share, tag 5 of your friends, subscribers, followers, connections, 5 of the more popular ones that you follow to join us in tonight's discussion. You know, we're almost to Valentine's Day, and I want to hear from you whether you think Valentine's Day is about the ladies. Is it for you ladies? Is it for the fellas? Is it for you both? Is Sweetest Day our day, ladies? Is that for the gentlemen? Well, a brother simply put his concern, and I'm going to post it here. I think it's posted across a couple of platforms, so I'm grateful for that. Hey, fam, my wife doesn't feel like I'm romantic anymore. I don't feel connected anymore, he says. Here comes Valentine's Day and the pressure is on. What do I do? What don't I do? And so I want to hear from you, those of you that might be coupled up, boo and bae, or you have been boo or bae. Those of you that might have some advice for this brother who is in his 30s and has been married for about 6 years, going on 7. Relationship is going well, but that spark around her expectations around big productions, around what is romantic. And we might get a chance to talk a little bit about that because that might be something that could shift or change, right? But he is wanting to, which is, I think, is admirable, please his wife, please his woman. I know there are ladies that are going to give me some taps on the screen right there for a brother who wants to please his woman. I know there are tons of men that do, but brothers get a bad rap often by some of the brothers who might be pleasing all the women. Film at 11, right? So I want to talk to the women, absolutely, but I want to talk to the men for a second too, and for the women who love them. Let me say it that way. Because sometimes when a man says, I want to spice things up, I want to make it great, what he really means is, I miss feeling close to you. I miss wanted. You know, we want it too. I miss when it felt easy to connect with you and reach you and touch you. And ladies, fellas aren't always great at saying that. Men aren't always taught to lead with an emotional language or vocabulary, right? Because often we're taught to fix problems, fix situations. We're the fixer, right? We're taught to perform or to push through, toughen up, right? Anybody agree with that? So instead of saying, I feel lonely, even though I love you, it might come out sideways from us. And so then Valentine's Day for us might become symbolic, not because of roses or sex, but it might highlight what feels missing in the everyday. The everyday, okay? And here's some truth that maybe no one is telling couples enough. Romance doesn't typically disappear. I know that sounds strange to some. Romance doesn't typically disappear. It's intention that disappears. So we want to talk a bit tonight about how couples can reconnect going into this Valentine's Day. Of course, on Saturday, we're going to have an opportunity for you to win some prizes, watch some movies, get back on the couch with your significant other if you're not going out. and win some prizes as we do every year. We'll tell you a little bit more about that and throughout the week so that you can tune in. We have independent artists. Some of the films you've seen, but some of them we love because we love that there are independent artists whose work is out there, and we want to celebrate and laud it every time that we can. All right. So let's talk a little bit about how couples reconnect. Sharifa, thank you so much for joining us on TikTok. She says Valentine's Day is about your partner. Cater to them. You know him or her the best. I love that. Give me some taps if you agree with her over there. I love it. I love it. I hope that that's populating in the comments here, because sometimes TikTok doesn't do everything I wanted to do the way I wanted to do. That's right, Beatrice, because everyone wants to feel desired. And sometimes it seems strange to some people, and men do. Oh, I'm in trouble moving. Let's behave here. Mouse. All right. I'm just trying to see if Sharifa didn't come across. Sharifa, so I'm just gonna be saying your comments. For some reason, it's not populating in the main feed. All right, TikTok, come on, don't fail me now. All right, help me out. Everyone wants to feel desire, right? And especially within your relationship with that special person, right? So he wants to spice up Valentine's Day, not for sex, but for connection. When I talked to him in the inbox, he says he's not chasing perfection. He's chasing closeness. And one of the things I tried to tell me is closeness doesn't happen in one day, and it typically won't dissipate in one day. So take some of the pressure off yourselves to make Valentine's Day the day of reconciliation, the day of rebirth. It could be, but your better chance is to build and weave into your everyday some romantics, into your everyday some closeness. Okay, so we'll talk a little bit about that. So when romance fades, it's rarely because love is gone. It's rarely because of that. It's normally because intention has stopped showing up consistently. And so you got to be intentional, right? You can never stop being intentional with, especially with the one you love. So I want to share some things. Part of it is how-to guidance, backed by some of the relationship experts that we talk to. And Sharitha, I love that comment. Closeness is cultivated over. Got to make sure we can get those tuned in so they can see all the good stuff that's happening over there. So it's really reigniting connection intentionally, reigniting connection on purpose. Remember when you were first in that relationship and you planned those events, you planned things be just right, you planned to meet them right as they were walking out the door from work, you planned to call them as soon as they had put their purse down at home, you planned to have the slippers right at the door. Ladies, you planned to wear that gown, Viva la Viva, at the door. You were intentional, right? Fellas, you wore that cologne. You went in the men's restroom and washed up good so that when you walked in the door, you were smelling amazing, right? You were intentional about igniting connection, igniting those feelings on purpose, right? You were trying to cultivate, as Sharifa says, that closeness, right? And when couples feel disconnected, especially when distance creeps in, the number one thing you have to do is keep talking. Okay, that's the number one piece of advice. Beatrice says intimacy is often misunderstood to be physical. To the contrary, it's less physical and more emotional. Very much so. And I just want to add to that, Jim, Beatrice, that on both sides, men and women, sometimes men equate the more physical to be emotional, whereas women equate more emotional to be physical. He's making love to your mind, you're touching his body, and you're meeting at a place in the middle, because the intimacy is not necessarily the sexual awakening, but it is the physical, and I'm going to even say metaphysical. It is the blend of emotion and physical for many that helps you to really ignite that passion, ignite those feelings that you had when you initially met. I love how you said that. And so you got to keep talking, because when couples feel disconnected, like this man is feeling about the romance, he's feeling disconnected, the instinct is to withdraw. because you don't want to argue, it won't change anything, and you don't want to feel rejected. And you don't want her to misread your cues. Because sometimes, ladies, a man that comes and lays his head in your lap ain't trying to turn his head. You know what I mean by that. Sometimes he's not asking for anything but your peace, but your presence, but your touch, which is amazing, right? Something just happened to me. I don't know what's going on. I'm having all kind of things that are just happening, flying around. This is hilarious. All right. I want to hear from you as to whether or not you've ever experienced, and I'm thinking Gary Chapman's love languages right now, ever experienced where there was a disconnect and you responded to the disconnect in your love language. It was almost like you're saying, come here, because you needed physical touch, not knowing that the other person needed words of affirmation. Or the other person needed physical touch, but that's not your thing. You needed acts of service. You needed them to help you do something, which made you feel valued, made you feel close, made you feel important to them. So sometimes when we're talking, which is the number one, we got to talk in the language of the other person. Got to talk in their language. Does that make any sense? So if my language is words of affirmation, my primary love language, which by the way, my primary love language is quality time. Anybody who loves me knows that I want your time. I want to be with you. I want you to be present. We don't have to touch, but I want to be in your presence. I want to know that your time, because to me, time is so valuable, that you cherish me like you cherish your time. So being present and having conversations and laughing and crying and fussing, whatever we're doing in communication, me, you're reigniting the connection because I want you to be present. I tease oftentimes at work, and people who work with me know I work hybrid. And when I am virtual in a meeting, I kind of wait for people to turn on their cameras because I'm extroverted generally, and I get refueled by connecting. Sometimes by being away from people, but mostly connecting. So I want to see your face. I want to see your expressions. I want to have your presence with me. And so to get to a closeness with me, it's tough if you are going to be present, right? If I can't have it's a pet peeve. I'm in a conversation with you and you're on your phone. I want your presence, almost undivided attention. I know that feels a whole lot, right? And you have to think about your partner's love language. Just like I'm sharing mine, it wouldn't make sense for me to then use my love language for someone else, right? Someone needs physical touch, and I'm just happy you present, but I'm sitting on the other side of the room. No, I need to come sit where you are. Let you lay on me, touch me, hold my hand, head on the shoulder. Whatever it is, if physical touch is your language, I need to be talking to you, talking with you in your love language. Okay? I want you, if you know your love language or that of your significant other, drop it in the comments. What's your love language? What's your love language? Is it physical touch, words of affirmation, gifts, acts of service, quality time? From Gary Chapman's love language work. Which is yours? Is it gifts, physical touch, quality time, words of affirmation, or acts of service? And do you know what your partner's is? All right, somebody over at TikTok, Zuzu says quality time. So you're like me, Zuzu. We want your time. I want to know, having some challenges here. I want to know where you are. I want to be where you want you to be where I am. And that to me, when someone says, hey, I just want to be with you. Hey, I want to spend some time with you. Hey, I need to talk with you. And come and sit with me. Let's reason together, if you will. So you got to finding out the person's love language. Now, ladies, I'll tell you, for some men, hey, Michelle Ballard, I saw you Sunday. I didn't get to talk to you. Keep talking even when it feels risky, okay? Keep talking because some brothers will go quiet, right? But here's how you um, here's something that one of the relationship experts, John Gottman from the Gottman Institute, says: silence doesn't protect intimacy, it quietly replaces it. So you got to name the distance. If you want to keep talking, especially when distance creeps in, number one, name the distance without blaming. Something like, I've been feeling a little disconnected from you and I miss us. Okay? So you're naming the distance without blaming. It's your fault you work too much. It's your fault you don't never hug me. I've been feeling a little disconnected from you and I miss us. Okay? Number two, as you're keeping the talking short, low pressure moments, not during conflict, maybe at midnight, maybe a ride or a walk or some shared routine. This talking about disconnect in a short, low pressure moment. Okay? And respond to small emotional bids. When your partner says, that reminded me of you, respond. Don't scroll. Don't give something else your attention. Let them know that what they're saying matters to you. Couples who last, John Gottman says, don't avoid conflict. They stay emotionally responsive. The difference maker is whether partners turn toward each other when there are bids for attention, affection, or reassurance versus away from each other. So this connection then isn't about the grand moments or grand speeches around Valentine's Day. It's all of the micro moments that lead up to it. Okay. And again, that's from the Gottman Institute on emotional bids and responsiveness. Okay. Emotional bids and responsiveness. All right. Take a moment and click share and tag someone. Thank you so much for joining us over there on TikTok. And thank you. Hey, Michelle, thank you so much. All right. Keep talking even when it feels risky. Sometimes when men feel distance, many of us go quiet. And it's not because we don't care. It's because we don't want to argue, be a burden, or be rejected. Do you understand that men also fear rejection, especially from someone they love? Shell Rita Wilson, thank you for joining us. And oftentimes, silence feels safer than saying the wrong thing. But silence can slowly become separation. And relationship researcher John Gottman calls this missing emotional bids. Those small moments where one partner reaches out and the other doesn't respond in the way that the partner would think they would. Now, for men, some men, that might look like not sharing a stress that's happening, or shrinking emotionally, or even waiting until resentment builds. See, connection doesn't require perfect words. It requires showing up anyway, even when the talking feels tough. Okay? That's number one. Keep talking, especially when there's distance that has creeped in. Okay? Number two, Don't let the relationship live on the back burner. Okay? Life doesn't ruin relationships. Neglect is typically the culprit that ruins relationships. When everything else gets first priority, love starts to feel optional instead of essential. Has anybody ever experienced that? Two things here that Estelle Perel, I'm sorry, Esther Perel, one of the relationship experts that I often refer to, teaches a lot about um, intentional space and how that creates desire. So love, don't make it a priority, starts to feel instead of essential. And she says these three things: schedule connection and connection time, building intentional space like it matters. Because often, if it's not planned, it gets replaced. If you don't set aside time, intentional time and space, you will fill up your life with things that will replace. Okay? So you got to make intentional time and space. That's number one. So schedule connection like it matters. All right? Number two, create rituals instead of relying solely on spontaneity. Spontaneity is great. It can be magical. It can be wonderful. It can be synergistic. It could be electrifying. It could be words that are coming that I'm not sharing. It can be all that and then some, right? But don't let the whole relationship rely on spontaneity. Create rituals like a daily check in. I share with you a couple where they have been married 68 years. He recently made a transition. They were married 68 years. Every day, he said, they got up and prayed together. It was a part of their daily. No matter where they were in the world, if they weren't together, no matter what was going on, if he had to go leave before her, every day they prayed together in the morning, and every evening they held hands. Now, that was just a part of their check ins, but they stayed together 68 years. That worked for them, right? What are the rituals and routines that you can build in your life with your boo bae, husband, wife, partner that will not solely rely on spontaneity? Spontaneity is wonderful, but there's also something about the steadiness, the stability that you can provide to a relationship. I even will tell you that my brother and his wife, let's see, they've been married, I think, since Methuselah walked with God. No, they've been married for uh feels like it 2029 will be 50 years. And he often talks about buying her flowers every week. That's a part of their ritual, right? You build a ritual that works for the two of you. And of course, you're going to build it in your love languages, right? If quality time is your love language, if gifts are your love language, build rituals around the love language of your partner, right? As Sharitha was saying, cater to that person and don't just wait for spontaneity to be when you cater. Okay, so weekly check ins, morning hugs, evening walks, whatever ritual you can create and recreate to reconnect and build that stable, sustainable, um, and maybe measurable um, energy between the two of you. Okay, and protect couple time. Number three, and don't let the relationship live on the back burner. Protect couple time from leakage, Esther Perel says. Phones, kids, parents, work emails, they can all intrude if boundaries are not clear. Priority communicates value. Value fuels desire. Esther Perel says in Mating in Captivity, which we're going to be sharing that later in the year, a little bit more about that. All right. Priority communicates value. Value fuels desire. I want you to hold on to that. Now, a lot of people assume if we love each other, we'll bounce back. But should love thrive on assumption, or should it thrive on attention? You know, I've been blessed to be a certified life coach, and I have 3 principles. One of those principles is set powerful intentions and go after them. And whatever you give your intentions to, you must give attention to your intentions. Because wherever your attention goes, your energy will flow. And you'll know whether you're focused on something because you'll put your efforts and energy into it. If you're really intending to make something happen, you have to give it attention. So don't thrive on assumption. Don't treat the relationship like it'll just be fine. Okay? Esther Perel is a psychotherapist, and she teaches that desire dies not from conflict, but from over familiarity and neglect. For some men, that means don't wait until things feel broken. Don't outsource connection to special occasions. And don't confuse provision with presence. Because romance lives and thrives where effort lives and thrives. Okay? Romance lives and thrives where effort lives and thrives. All right? Making sense? That was number 2. Don't put the relationship on the back burner. Number 3, remove what's quietly driving you apart. Think about it. When you have felt a wedge, division, can you trace that back to some unspoken hurt or grudge, some harsh words that were spoken, some outside voices? You know how sometimes people outside of your relationship get to speak to it? Normally, these don't explode. They erode over time, right? An unspoken grudge, you hold on to it, festers, and erodes over time. Sue Johnson, who is the creator of emotionally focused therapy, EFT, teaches that unresolved emotional wounds create disconnection cycles where partners protect themselves instead of protecting each other. So healing can't be about blame. Healing has to be about safety. Creating an environment where you can get beyond those unspoken grudges because it is a safe place to discuss them. Those harsh words, finding your path to forgiveness because it's a safe space to talk about them. Disconnection often isn't very loud in the beginning as it's happening. It's just unaddressed. And oftentimes pride, resentment, unresolved hurt, external pressures, all of these can slowly create emotional walls that build and crumble. So the way that you remove what's quietly driving you apart is you name the emotional landmines, asking each other, what is it that keeps coming between us? And be honest about it. Clear those grudges in real time because those small resentments can compound and be exacerbate other issues when you ignore them. And then you got to audit those outside influences. You know, those family opinions, the draining relationships, the packed schedules. Because when partners feel emotionally unsafe, Sue Johnson says, they protect themselves instead of connecting, which leads to withdrawal cycles. Safety restores softness, and softness restores intimacy, Dr. Johnson says. Making any sense to you? I hope it is. And I'm just going to check in with you across platforms. Take a moment to thank you all for being here. Sharifa saying weekly, bi-weekly date nights. Slick Brit, thank you for being here over there on TikTok. Thank you, Shell Rita, Michelle, Beatrice, and others that are on Facebook and those that are on other platforms. If you drop your name in the comments, it'll populate here so that I can see you and say hello to you. I'm so grateful that you are here. I wanted to take a moment to encourage you, those of you that will be interested in participating in our 36 questions that lead to love 2.0. We did this experiment a few years ago. There are two psychologists who were in college. When they met and fell in love, and they synthesized the questions that they asked each other during that courtship, hence the 36 questions that lead to love. They ran an experiment as a part of their coursework, and it went viral. Now, some 40 years later, it went viral again. So we decided in the Love and Stuff community to do the same thing. We partnered together, men and women who came during the pandemic. I believe it was on Zoom. And they went into breakout rooms and asked each other the 36 questions that lead to love. It was eye-opening, fun, funny, emotional, wonderful, all of those things. We're looking for our second set, our 2.0. And we didn't want to do it with the pressure of Valentine's Day. We thought we would do speed dating on Valentine's Day. And we learned from talking to people, there is so much pressure around having a Valentine, meeting someone on Valentine's Day. So we're not going to go with Valentine's Day, but we're starting to build our list. So if you're interested, I will put up the QR code so that you'll be able to, and I'll drop it in the comments as well, because I know TikTok has a problem with that kind of behavior. And Woodsy Lynette, thank you for joining us. And Noah Williams, my cousin, thank you. Love you so much. Because you may be interested in the 36 questions that lead to love. I think it is a fantastic experiment, and it helps you to bolster and build your confidence, and just tell you a little bit more about it.
Can 36 questions make you fall in love? What if I told you two young psychologists discovered over 30 years ago that just 36 questions could create real closeness between complete strangers? And that the same questions might lead you to love or help you discover more about yourself than you ever imagined. This isn't a dating gimmick. It's an experiment that's been studied and repeated around the world. People walked in as strangers and walked out feeling deeply connected. Some even got married. But here's the twist. It's not just about romance. These questions open the door to vulnerability, honesty, and self-reflection. They help you see who you are, how you love, and what really matters to you in relationships. So whether you're looking for love or looking to learn more about yourself in the process, click the link, sign up, and let's walk through these 36 questions together. Who knows? Love might just be one question.
Let's walk through these questions together, because who knows? Love might be right near your door. All right. So we'll put the link up. We'll drop it in the comments for those that are on TikTok, because, when we put up the QR code, they kind of get upset. And I want you to be able to sign up if you're interested. No pressure. You're just going to be asking a stranger 36 questions, and you will be surprised at how you will open up and how they will open up. Are you open to love? Are you open to meeting someone who might bring love? Are you open to see more of yourself? At the very least, it's going to open you up to see more about you as you prepare yourself to embark upon relationships. So Very excited about that. And we will put the QR code up. We had a great time last time, and I know we'll have a great time again. Patricia Taylor, it's been so long since I've seen you. Oh, I'm so grateful that you're here. All right. So we're going back into our topic, which I think I panned um, earlier, but he said, "Hey, fam, my wife doesn't feel like I'm romantic anymore. I don't feel connected anymore. Here comes Valentine's Day, and the pressure is on. What do I do? What don't I do?" So we're sharing some things that he could do, like keep talking, especially when distance creeps in. That's number one. We talked about naming the distance without blaming, talking short, low pressure moments, respond to small emotional bids. All right. Connection is built in micro moments, not grand speeches. And that's from the Gottman Institute, Dr. John Gottman. Thank you so much for that, sir. Number two, don't let the relationship live on the back burner, because life doesn't ruin relationships, neglect does. And so you need to schedule connection like it matters, create rituals instead of relying on spontaneity only, protect couples from the phone, kid, parent, work email leakage, set boundaries. Priority communicates value, and value fuels desire, says Dr. Esther Perel. All right. Number three, we talked about remove what's quietly driving you apart, because disconnection is often not very loud, it's just unaddressed. So, what you need to do is name the emotional landmine, ask what keeps coming between us, clear grudges in real time, and audit the outside influences, because safety restores softness and softness restores intimacy. And that's from Hold Me Tight by Dr. Sue Johnson. We're at number four. Stay curious about who your partner is becoming. Your familiarity can quietly turn into assumption, because you're saying, I already know them. But your partner is in evolution, they are evolving. And your intimacy can depend on whether or not you're willing to keep up by asking growth oriented questions like, what excites you right now? Or what's been heavy and a challenge for you lately that wasn't before? Noticing new preferences instead of clinging to the old ones. And treat your partner as if you expect them to grow, as if they are someone that is still unfolding. Dr. Arthur Aaron found that couples who engage in curiosity based conversations experience renewed closeness, especially long term partners, because curiosity invites discovery, and discovery fuels attraction. I love that. Curiosity invites discovery, and discovery fuels attraction. All right. I love it. I love it. I love it. Give me some likes if that makes sense. So get curious again. Don't assume that you already know her, fellas. Don't assume that you already know him, ladies. Treat it as if there's something new to learn and that they are in evolution. Because one of the most unromantic things that you can do is to stop being curious by saying, I already know him or I already know her. People change. Dr. Aaron, social psychologist, found that curiosity-based conversations reignite intimacy. So instead of assuming, ask. Listen without fixing. You know, that's kind of hard, right? Because especially for brothers, you think your role is to fix. Sometimes your role is just to listen, and vice versa. Listen without fixing. Learn who he or she is becoming and not merely who he or she was. Because curiosity can be the foreplay for the soul. All right. So that was number four, right? If you're just joining us, we are talking again from the inbox of a gentleman who has some trepidation coming into Valentine's Day because he's not feeling it, and his wife is saying that he isn't romantic. Hey there, Dr. Miller. So great to see you. All right. So 4, stay curious about who your partner is becoming. And number 5, and I kind of started here earlier, right? Talking from Gary Chapman's love languages, right? There are 5 of them, right? Words of affirmation, gifts, physical touch, acts of service, and quality time, which quality time is my number 1. And I asked you earlier, drop in the comments, what is your love language, your primary and secondary? Number 5 is love them in their language, not yours. Love them in their language, not yours. Because many couples, married or otherwise, boo or bae, love hard, but they miss the target because they love in their own language, expecting for you to have the same experience that they would. They give what they want instead of what their partner needs. Okay? So the number 1 thing you have to do here is make sure that whatever you're doing for Valentine's Day or any day, number 1, identify your partner's primary love language. Again, it could be words of affirmation. It could be quality time. It could be gifts. It could be acts of service. It could be physical touch. If you forget those, go buy Gary Chapman's Love Languages work or inbox me so that we can send you something that will help you remember that. Won't say that we took any excerpts from anybody's book, but we will help you investigate your love languages and that of your partners. Of course, he has an assessment that you can do, a full assessment, so that you can understand your love languages. And I did it many years ago and it hasn't changed. I'm still, quality time is my number 1. Okay. Quality time is my number 1. Over time, I think as I've gotten older, physical touch means more to me than it did when I was younger. But words of affirmation is a strong third. Physical touch and words of affirmation, but quality time is my number 1. So for me, if you're just giving me a bunch of gifts, now I'll take gifts. I love them, but not more than I love your presence. Your presence is a gift to me. To be able to sit with you and talk with you and laugh with you and joke with you and enjoy your presence is more than a gift to me, more than something that you could buy. Now, you could try to see if one is better than the other, but I'm telling you how I see it, right? So that's number 1. Love them in their language, not yours, by identifying their primary language first, right? And then number 2, observe what makes them feel seen, not just happy. What makes them feel seen by you? And that acts of service, for instance, if your wife is just literally gushing when you help to take out the garbage, you say, hey, baby, let me get that. Hey, I see what you're doing, but let me help you. Not just pleasing, but make her, him feel seen. Slick Brick on TikTok says, I think this may be the most important point. It just may. It just may. I don't disagree with you, Slick Brick. You got a point. And number 3, adjust delivery, not intention. Adjust the frequency. Adjust how you deliver the gift, not the intention. How you deliver the acts of service, not the intention. Does that make sense? Gary Chapman himself explains that mismatched love languages lead to emotional loneliness, even in committed relationship. Even in a committed relationship. So love that lands feels different than love that's meant well. For it to land, it needs to have intention and delivery in the method that it can be received. Does that make sense? So to this husband, we're saying, love her in her language. What makes her feel romanticism? What makes her feel close to you? What makes her feel seen? Not in your language. Because contrary to popular belief, ladies, a lot of men love hard, but we often do it in the way that we want it to be reciprocal without thinking about how she wants and needs to be loved. That's why Gary Chapman explains that when love languages don't match, even when the effort is real, your partner can still feel unseen. And so you're asking yourself, I'm trying, why isn't it landing? Because intention isn't impact. Love lands when it speaks the right dialect. Okay? Before we go in, it's 9:25. I wanted to share with you this Valentine's Day reconnection script for those of you that might be interested. If you say, hey, I want this, I will make sure that I get you a link. Now, I'm going to ask for your email address to get this to you. So I just want to let you know the way that you get it is free, but free is never really free. I got to have your email address. Got to have a way to connect with you, okay? And there are a couple steps to this reconnect script. Step one, you're going to set the frame. One of the partners is going to say, this isn't about fixing anything. I just want us to feel closer again. Okay? And the partner who feels this the strongest will say this next step, the emotional language. I've been feeling a little disconnected. Not angry, not unhappy, just missing us. Sometimes I don't know how to say that without sounding needy, so I go quiet. Whichever one of the two of you feels that resonates with you most. Step three, the other person should respond by saying, when you go quiet, I sometimes fill in the phrase. It could be shut out, even though I know you care. Devalued, even though I know you love me. Unseen, unheard, even though I know you would never intend to hurt me. Okay? Step four, and I believe it's one of these important points, like Slick Brick was saying. Hello, Yvette Calloway. Each one of you are going to do one small ask. One thing that helps me feel close to you is. One thing that helps me feel loved by you is, and you fill that in. And you repeat back to each other what you've heard. And then step five, you're going to close with intention. Let's try this for the next 7 days and check back in. So each day you're walking through these steps, but you're going to commit to 7 days, 3 days, 2 weeks, and checking back in. That is the reconnection that you can go through as you're coming up to your Valentine's Day if you're feeling disconnected. What I love about this inbox topic is this husband wants to please his wife. Now, I don't want to mean to say that that's an anomaly. It is refreshing to hear in a world where just about anything goes for a lot of people. And God knows what we're seeing at the highest level of society and government, what we're seeing around this whole Epstein files and all of the human trafficking and sex trafficking and debauchery and all of these things, how refreshing it is to know that there are husbands that still love their wives and are committed to them, wives that still love their husbands, boos and bays that loves their boos and bays, partners that love each other. It's refreshing to know that exists in the world, and we're sure that it does. But we don't always hear about that as much, do we? So I laud and applaud this man and anybody who is being faithful to their relationship, faithful to their commitment, faithful to their covenant, and is courageous enough to say, I need some help reconnecting. I need some help feeling like I want to supply romance to this relationship. I want it to be real. I want it to be authentic. Because this unrelenting wanting to repent heart, the quintessential love who is God, will not despise. If you pour out your heart and don't hide your heart from him, he will not despise it. When your desire is to be authentic, to be real, to be the best, you can bring that to the quintessential love and he will help you fix your heart, cleanse your heart, clean your heart, reconnect and reposition your heart to be the love and the space and intention of your relationships that you want to be, and to love yourself. You know, in Love and Stuff, we're always talking about the quintessential love, who is God. God is love, right? And I believe he's inspired the writing of love chapters to tell us all about this love and what he desires for us. That we will love him with everything we got, I'm paraphrasing, and our neighbors as ourselves, which means there's a self-love component in there, right? That you got to learn to love yourself. And out of that love that's come from here to you, you then can love a partner, love a neighbor, love your children, love your spouses. And a long life, sometimes distance, harsh words, unhealed wounds, unforgiveness can creep into relationships almost unaware. And it's incumbent upon you and I to work at reconnecting ourselves to those we love, including the quintessential love. You know, you need to talk to him too. And you need to listen to what he is saying so that you stay connected. Some of these very principles we can apply to every part of this triune relationship, if you will. This love of God, love of self, love of others. That we have to find in our journey of connection a space to keep talking, a space to find the love language of others, a space to be real about what is transpiring and to approach it with intention, because oftentimes it's not the romance that's disappearing, it's the intention. Ask yourself, if you're in that relationship with boo or bae, husband or wife, what do I intend? Because Valentine is a lifestyle. Sure, it's a day and there will be probably hundreds of millions of dollars spent. Hallmark will make good money, and so will all of the chocolate and flower vendors and restaurants. But if Valentine is a lifestyle, it's the micro moments of every day through which you show the intention of your love for those that you are in relationship with. If this has been a good time, it's 9:33. I'm 3 minutes over. I hope that you will click share and tag 5 of your closest connections, followers, subscribers, and friends, 5 of the more popular ones, and ask them the question, what do you intend for the love in your life? And what are you building every day to make that intention come to pass? Join us Saturday for a special edition of Sports Talk with Kamau and Felix. They're going to be giving away some really cool things and are going to give opportunities for those in the Sports Talk Kamau and Felix group and other groups to join these two fellows who love all things sports. They're going to be doing a special Valentine's Day, I couldn't get it out, on Saturday. which is Valentine's Day. And Valentine's Day evening, we will have a special presentation here. It will include pre-recorded content of indie artists, filmmakers, of their film shorts. So if you don't have a Valentine, don't worry about it. Love and Stuff is going to be your Valentine. And you get a chance to win some prizes as well as watch some really wonderful short films and enjoy an evening, short evening of fun and friend zone fellowship. If that's you and you're like, I don't have a date for Valentine's, don't you worry. Love and Stuff got you. We got a date for you. It's not a speed dating. We don't want to put that pressure on you this time, but we have a date that you can sit back and relax on your couch and enjoy. Good evening, Roderick Taylor. Thank you so much for joining. I'm closing out. It's 9:35. I'm 5 minutes over. I hope you'll go back and watch from the beginning and chime into the comments. Let's keep the conversation flowing and going. And I hope that I will see you in these Facebook streets or YouTube or Instagram or Twitch or TikTok Saturday, 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 Central Standard Time, Sports Talk with Kamal and Felix special Valentine's Day edition. Get a chance to win some prizes. And don't worry, there'll be more prizes Saturday evening at 7 o'clock p.m. for you to enjoy a Valentine's special from Love and Stuff, from the Love and Stuff community. All right. Thank you so much. Have a grateful evening. I appreciate you so much. Click share and tag some other folks to join in the conversation so that we can share our perspectives in the hope that we all can up our love game. See you soon.
Yeah. 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 Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Born and dead, saved by love, count my blessings from above. Though in darkness, have no fear. Light will shine on those holding near. They know that sorrow they will pass. For I know in this life there will be some pain. But remember that love, yes it will, love will reign. Yeah, love will reign. Yeah, in my heart I believe it. Love will reign. Oh, yeah, yeah. Have a vision, it's clear and plain. People living life, smiling again. Oh, see the children, they know no pain. Far from pressure, stress and strain.